Welcome back to S&S Grills. I'm Russ Jones with the YouTube channel Smoky Ribs BBQ, and today I'm cooking up a rack of lamb, and we're going to be doing it on the slow and sear Kamado. I'm going to get started by making a savory but fresh rub. This is not a barbecue rub like you might typically be used to. This is using all fresh herbs, and we're going to get started using garlic. Doesn't have to be perfect, just get you some small little minced pieces there. Now I've got some fresh parsley. Just gonna chop this up as fine as we can. I like to roll it up in a little bit of a ball, little package here. Now you want to take some fresh rosemary, and all you got to do is just pull this off the stem just like this, and it comes right off. Now there will be a link in the description box for a full printable recipe over at the S&S website, and I'll have all the amounts of the ingredients listed in that recipe. So I'm going to zest this lemon until we end up with around half a teaspoon of lemon zest. We've got our garlic. Got our parsley, got our rosemary, and we got our lemon zest. Now I'll take you a good olive oil. Let's give this a little mix. Go in with some more. There we go. So here is our rack of lamb, and all I'm going to do this is I'm going to remove some of this right in here. We're just going to trim this down, kind of expose this meat a little better. Just trying to get down into this actual meat. Any silver skin I find, I will be removing that as well. You know, lamb is something a lot of people don't typically think about doing, but let me tell you, it's some really good meat. Now let's go on with the rub itself, and I'm just going to start right here on this back side. Now the only thing really edible back here is this little bit of meat right through here. Everything else is bones. Drop a little salt in here, a little black pepper. We're going to flip this over gently. Do this side. Just cake it on there because you're probably going to lose a little transferring this over to the grill. Take and squeeze a little lemon juice on top of that. That's going to brighten all these flavors up. And some salt. And just let it rain black pepper. This is a slow and sear Kamado. I have my slow and sear basket. I'm not using the water reservoir today because it's not needed. That's primarily for like low and slow cooks where it's going to be there a while. This is not going to be that long, and because of that, I'm not filling this all the way up with charcoal, at least not yet. When I get ready to do a sear, I will be adding more charcoal, but I'm going to have these set right here, about what you see there, and into that I'm going to throw about 12 of these lit charcoal briquettes into the basket. I'm going to take a small piece of hickory. Hickory does well with lamb because lamb can have a strong gamey flavor, and if you're not careful, you know, if you overcook it, it really accentuates that, but that hickory will go good with a stronger tasting meat. Let's lower the lid, and when I get this up to around 225 degrees, we'll go on with the meat, and we'll make adjustments with the lower vent and the upper vent to achieve the settings I want. Alrighty, we got this pit dialed in around 230, and so we're close enough. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up, and quickly we're gonna get a grate on this thing, just like that. And I'm going to put the meat right here. All right, I'm going to take a thermometer probe, and we're going to start right here at the end. We're going to push that all the way through. At 115, we'll be removing this. I am using the S&S 500 digital thermometer. Let's get a lid closed on this. and we are smoking. Still running about 230, 235 degrees on the Kamado. We're gonna raise it up. We're gonna pull this probe. Now I'm using insulated gloves here so I can handle the heat. We're going to remove this, and we're just gonna set it off and let it rest. I'm gonna go ahead and add some more charcoal in here, and we're gonna get this raging hot. Gonna leave the lid open, open the bottom vent wide open, get plenty of airflow through here because we want this at searing temperatures. All right, man, we got us one heck of a blaze going on there. We're going to use a little bit of this cold grate method today, and we're just going to put our cold grate on. I've had it off for a very long time. Now we're going to take this rack of lamb and we're going to lay it right here. We're going to sear this side for about 45 seconds to a minute and take a look at it. All right, so what I want to do is go ahead and remove this to our cool side. Spin it around. Let's get a sear on this side. About 45 seconds to a minute. All right, let's go ahead and rotate it again. Okay, I did shift these over just a little because we have a better fire right in that area. Now I'm here to tell you that is smelling some kind of good with that garlic and herbs in there. All right, this should be our last sear. That's looking good to me. I like the way that looks. I will pull it off the heat, put it over here on indirect, and do a temperature check here momentarily with the S&S 100 and see if I'm at my target. I'm shooting for about 128 to 130. You want lamb more on the rare side, the medium rare to rare. If you don't like rare meat, then hey, you know, but it tastes the best at that temp. I'm gonna move these over here and let these come up just for a few minutes and try to get up maybe about another 5 degrees, and we're gonna pull them. All right, let's do a temperature check on this now. So we're at 128, almost 129. We're good. Let's go ahead and get these off of here. Gonna put them on this board. You're just gonna let them rest for about 5 minutes. I think that's all you need because that is not a very big piece of meat. It shouldn't take long to be just right. Well, it's time to slice into this and see how we done. And there we go. And I'm gonna grab this piece that's got that color on the end. That's flavor right there. And the cool thing about these is it's like a lollipop. You got a built-in stick, built-in handle there. Here we go. Oh, that is so good. I instantly pick up on that char on the outside. No gamey flavor whatsoever. I mean, none. I was expecting it to be somewhat like venison. I mean, none. That is so juicy and very tender. I mean, I guess you would call that like the ribeye section or pork chop section of lamb. It's very tender, and it's like I said, no strong off-putting flavor whatsoever, and those herbs really work with it. They work fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Remember, there'll be a full recipe in the description box. It links you over to the website, and you can print that recipe out and give this a try. I highly recommend it. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm Russ Jones with S&S Grills, and remember, 2 zones are better than 1.